Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Oh, I didn't see you guys there. I wasn't singing the one of the Frozen themes. I swear I wasn't. Anyways, welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the release of the highly anticipated animated sequel Frozen 2 hitting store shelves, along with the dramatic and comedic whodunit Knives Out. The sci-fi horror experience Color Out of Space and Scream Factory is releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray of the 1992 horror sequel Pet Sematary 2, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart here with this huge display for Frozen 2. Look at that. Wow. We haven't seen one of these displays at Walmart in quite a while, man. Wow, that's nice. Look at that. Very cool, dude. Really nice. They went all out for Frozen 2. Nice. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Frozen 2 for $22.96. They also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $29.96. Now, this says it's an only at Walmart exclusive. Now, what that means is that right down here, guys, it says if you buy the 4K Ultimate Collector's Edition, and you will receive your exclusive digital bonus features on Vudu, which includes a couple of features that are not on the discs. It says see inside packaging for code and details and everything, which kind of sucks because I hate when they do that with special features. You have to buy the actual physical release and then you'll get the extra features on top of that online. Why can't they just be on the disc? That's kind of a pet peeve of mine, guys. But if you don't mind doing that, they do have this only at Walmart exclusive for this one, guys. And the good thing about this release is actually it's got the lenticular cover on it as well, which is very cool, man. Not bad. So there is a couple advantages to picking this one up, guys, if you are interested in the 4K here at Walmart. Now, I ended up watching this on Amazon Prime. I really had no interest in watching this in the theaters, guys. No lie, I had zero interest in Frozen 2. Now, that's because, of course, I'm not really much of an animated guy. You guys have known that if you watch enough of the out and abouts, but more than that, I didn't even watch the first Frozen. So I'm like, you know, why watch the second Frozen if I've never watched the first? So I actually rectified that before doing this out and about. I watched both Frozen and Frozen 2 together, and I gotta admit, with that first Frozen, man, it was a really great movie, dude. It was very heartfelt. I love the characters. I thought it was funny, adventurous. It had a really great message. The animation was really great on there. I was really blown away by Frozen. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be this really kiddie junk that I wasn't gonna like, but honestly, I was really surprised how much I really enjoyed Frozen. And then I was like, okay, man, I'm really looking forward to Frozen 2, and Frozen 2 did not disappoint me, man. Honestly, Frozen 2 did not. I thought it was a really great continuation to the first for Frozen. I like the continuation of the mythology, of the characters, of the storylines. I like everybody in here. Olaf is funny as shit. I think Olaf's really great here, and I was thinking that Olaf was going to be a really goofy character of like this really weird and goofy snowman, which makes no sense. But honestly, that's not true, guys. It was really fun. It was really great. I really enjoyed it quite a bit, man. Yeah, this was really good. I quite like this one a lot, man. I really honestly enjoyed this one. I thought the animation was even better than the first Frozen was. I thought there was a really great heartfelt message. It's dramatic, it's emotional, it's really great for kids. I think kids who grew up with the first Frozen all those years ago, I think they're gonna like this. I think if you've grown up with Frozen, then you'll definitely enjoy this one too. I was really shocked how much I really love this one quite a bit, guys. And for me, this is definitely a recommend. I don't think I really go out of my way to recommend animated stuff too much, but this is a really big recommendation, and I really enjoy this a lot. And for me, I have to admit, this one is definitely a good Disney animated movie. I can't say all of the Disney ones are great, unfortunately. I think some of them are a little not so great, a little manufactured. This has a little bit of a manufactured feel to it at times, but I gotta tell you, the songs are infectious here. I think they really do a great job with the voice talent, the singing, the animation. I think everything is really top notch here. They took their time to make Frozen 2, and they didn't want to screw it up, and I think they did the right thing. They didn't rush this, they took their time, and because of it, I think it paid off in a big bad way. I do think Frozen 2 is good. Is it as good as the first Frozen? Well, that's up to you guys, but honestly though, I was really pleasantly surprised by this one, and I think you guys will definitely like this, especially if you like the first Frozen. I can't believe I like Frozen and Frozen 2. Crazy times, I'm telling you, man. Crazy indeed, but definitely enjoyed this one quite a bit, guys. And as I said, this is the only at Walmart exclusive with the lenticular, not bad here. And like I said, if you get this edition, it does come with the exclusive bonus features on Vudu, so just make sure about that if you're thinking about picking up the 4K over here at Walmart. Not bad, guys. Some interesting variety, 4K, Blu-ray, and a really, really great display, man. Really impressive. All right, let's see what else they got. All right, guys, we are over in this section over here at Walmart, and I'm seeing they do have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Knives Out for $24.96, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $19.96, and the DVD for $14.96 here. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and you know, I had heard so many wonderful things about this movie. Everybody who saw it had nothing but praise for this film. Everybody went out of their way saying this thing is really clever, and just the dynamic between the characters, and it's one that people definitely have to see. And I'm like, oh geez, that's all hype. That's you know, it's all hype and everything like that, and it's probably not as great as everybody's saying. And now, having seen it on Amazon Prime and getting a chance to watch this thing, I love it. I really do, guys. I love this movie. I think this really, as everyone says, it's clever. It feels like one of those classic murder mysteries that you saw like years and years ago with those old school films. I really do think that all the characters here are very different from one another. They all have very unique personalities that you can tell all of them apart, and you know, there's not one that's similar to the other. I think it's very unique. I love Daniel Craig here with his southern drawl. I really like him in this movie a lot. He's really fantastic here. I love sort of the comedy of it, not taking itself too seriously, and yet at the same time being very dramatic. I love sort of the fact that you're on the edge of your seat, of what's going on and the mysteries behind what's happening. Once you think you know what's going on, then they flip the script and you don't know what's going on at all, and they completely sort of turn it on its head. I thought it was really just incredibly ingenious, really clever, has a great sort of wry sense of humor, very mischievous. It has a lot of really great and clever moments added to it, and like I said, I think all the acting here, everybody, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Michael Shannon, whether it's Don Johnson, Christopher Plummer, Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans, I mean, all of them just hit it out of the park, man. And with an ensemble like this, there's certain actors that could really get lost in the shuffle, but everybody has their moments to shine. Everybody does a great job here, man. It's a really well done, well woven tale that really reminded me of a lot of old school films from back in the day, man. It really honestly did. I can't sing these praises enough, dude. I thought this movie was absolutely amazing. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I was laughing. I was tense. I didn't know what was going on until the final frames, and I'm really, really happy for it, man. Usually a lot of times you can guess what happens. Here it's a little bit different. It's just it's really unique and really interesting. And you don't see movies like this done very often, and that's what I really liked about it, man. I thought it was really fantastic, and this is well worth your time, man. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this, and now I'm so pissed that I never saw it in the movie theater, man. I'm so pissed I didn't, but I'm so happy I got to see this, man, because this is everything that everybody has said about it. It's all true, man. It's really wonderful, and you guys definitely got to get up on watching this because this is fantastic, man. The well worth a recommend by far, guys. We're worth it, no doubt for that, man. Other than that, all I'm seeing is they do have Frozen and Frozen 2, but I'm not seeing Color Out of Space. I'm not seeing any of the other indie stuff as well, but that's okay, guys. At least we saw a couple of titles, and we saw that great display, so there is an upside to this one. They may not have everything, but they had a few things, and hey, with this Walmart, I'll definitely take it. Alright, let's head out. So guys, I was checking out the Frozen 2 display more, and I noticed that with the 4K Frozen 2, it actually opens up on the inside, man, of the slipcover. It actually opens up and it kind of shows the couple of special features that are on the Vudu online, man. So that's kind of cool. So not only do you get the lenticular slip here, but you also get a cool sort of opening on the inside. It's actually pretty cool, man. Actually not bad, not gonna lie, dude. So yeah, I mean, even though we didn't see every release here, I would have liked to have seen Color Out of Space and actually a couple other things here, that some indie titles that I know got released this week. Look, you gotta still be happy here, guys, because we got a really great display for Frozen 2, an exclusive over here at Walmart, which, by the way, we almost never see as exclusives at Walmart, so this is definitely a pleasure. And they did have Knives Out as well, so not great, but not terrible either, man. Definitely better than I was expecting, for sure, man. And honestly, if they did not have Frozen 2 here, I think the parents and the kids were gonna riot. Like, I have a feeling like the kids were gonna grab, like, Walmart employees, and they were gonna grab them by the collar and be like, where's Frozen 2, bitch? They were gonna really go mad and insane, man. But other than that, there was still a lot of stuff here to check out, indeed, man. And some really cool stuff here. Definitely, if you're a fan of Frozen, that's not bad here at all, man. So, could be a little bit better, but still very happy with what we got, man. Not bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the second location and see what we can find. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. Now, I was really surprised about Walmart. And the reason why was because we haven't really seen them go out of their way for exclusives recently. I knew that with Frozen 2, I knew pretty much some of these stores like Walmart were going to kind of get out of their comfort zone and do exclusives when they wouldn't normally do them. And, you know, to Walmart's credit, you had a good display, you had a good exclusive, and this week is sort of big in general, if you really think about it, because there's something literally for everybody. You know, for kids, you know, a good sort of like crime drama for adults. Horror movie lovers have something as well. Even though there's only a few big releases this week, it feels like there is something for everybody pretty much, man. And it always feels like stores are sort of vying for your dollar. You know, what are they going to have that the other store isn't going to have that's going to make you want to come over to their side and buy their product instead of the other one? With Walmart, you saw that exclusive. What will Target have? That's the real question. I'm hoping for an exclusive, maybe more than just one, maybe two exclusives at that. Target has been very consistent with their exclusives. They've done a lot of really cool stuff in the past, done some really great exclusives, and has been consistent in putting out stuff that people are interested in and putting on their shelves. They don't always have the greatest variety and selection, but they make up for it in very interesting exclusives and stuff that, you know, you want to get over another place like Best Buy or Walmart. Give them credit. They do their best at what they have, and they do a pretty good job for the most part, guys. I mean, I'm not always expecting the greatest selection in the world, but sometimes they do surprise me with their really great exclusives, so I am definitely looking forward to what they have in store. So let's go in and check it out. All right, everybody, we are in over at Target for the display for Frozen 2 right here. Look at that. Very nice. Ooh, and look at all the variety. All that Frozen 2 goodness. Oh yeah, baby. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Frozen 2 for $22.99. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $29.99. And oh yes, and only at Target exclusive 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital includes filmmaker gallery book right here. Nice, look at that. That is a really nice right there, man. Target always really does their sort of gallery books and everything, and this is no exception, and very different from this art as well. I actually like both arts. I like this artwork, but I kind of think I prefer this one here a little bit more, man. I kind of like this one. Not half bad, man. Not half bad at all. And as you can kind of see what it kind of looks like on the inside there with sort of the filmmaker booklet and everything. Not bad. Huh, very interesting, man. Not bad at all here. Now, if you really think about it, I mean, if you really rack your brain about it, guys, there's not many Disney animated sequels that equal the original or surpass it. There really isn't. Now, it's really fascinating when you look into it, because I did, because there's been sequels to everything. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Bambi, so many of them, man. Mulan's had one as well. There's so many of these animated movies that have had sequels, and a lot of them, well, actually pretty much the majority of them, have not really broken the zeitgeist like the original animated movies did. Now, why is that? I mean, is it because they weren't good creatively? Did Disney not put the kind of effort into those that they did the original ones? I think a lot of them went straight to VHS or DVD. I don't really think any of them really got the kind of backing and push that the originals did. And for some reason, I think those sequels maybe lacked creative focus and didn't exactly compare to the original like maybe they should have. It's really tough to say exactly why those ones failed compared to their original counterparts, but I look at something like Frozen, and Frozen at the time, if you really think about it, back in 2013, I believe the movie came out, nobody expected that movie to hit the way it did. Nobody. I mean, if you think about it, guys, I mean, really, really think about it, the success of that really ended up, like, shocking everybody. And I truly do mean this, man. I mean, it really shocked everybody in a big, bad way. And the merchandise that came out for that is crazy. I remember I was at a Kohl's once with my mother, and all it was Frozen shit. Like even the men's clothing had like Frozen logos and crap on there. It was literally insane, dude. I was like, oh my God, I'm in Kohl's and everything is Frozen. Goodness gracious, man. And so I think there's also a little bit of a push to sort of try to capitalize on that. I think there's a push to try to get the next product out there as fast as humanly possible to make the extra buck. And I think that's another thing where those animated sequels sort of failed, is because they kind of rushed the product. And it felt rushed and it didn't feel as good as the original. And I think that's why Frozen 2, I think, is a little bit more successful, is they took about 6 years to really take their time and come up with something very unique and interesting. And sometimes with these Disney animated sequels, that isn't always the case, man. But with this, it was. They took their time, and I think their patience really paid off. I mean, look, in any other time period, maybe in the 90s or something, you would have saw a sequel come out 2 years later on DVD or something like that to really, you know, regain the boost of Frozen, and people would have bought it, but would it have been as good? I don't know. I think taking your time on a sequel really does matter. I think something like Incredibles 2, because they took their time on it, I think the product became better. When you rush something out there, I think that's when the quality is not as good. And yeah, you're going to make the quick buck, but is it really worth it? And I think that's why Frozen 2 really succeeds to me, man. I mean, and there was a lot to live up to, man. I mean, the songs and everything. Did it quite live up to the first Frozen? Again, that's really up to you guys, but I really felt like the songs and everything were really great. I thought the animation, the story was really good, and I was really proud of the fact that this wasn't, I mean, it's a cash grab, obviously, but it's not like a full-on cash grab where you feel like, you know, they just rushed a product out. It didn't feel like that, and I really do appreciate that from Disney, that has been accused of rushing stuff out constantly. So for them to take their time on this one was definitely appreciated by far, man. Not bad, man. And not bad exclusive here from Target. Pretty cool, actually. Not bad, man. Again, they do have the Blu-ray, DVD, digital, and the 4K as well. And a really great exclusive. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all. And a lot of stock of Frozen 2, man. They're not running out anytime soon. That's for damn sure. All right. Let's see what else Target's got. Yeah, guys. Frozen is everywhere. Look at this. Look at this, man. Frozen is galore. Look at this. Everything. Oh my god, dude. Like I said, Frozen merchandise is big, dude. That's what you get when you create something successful. Merchandising. That's where the real money from the movie's made. Alright, everybody, we are over in this section of Target, and they do also have the DVD only of Frozen 2 for $19.99, and they have another only at Target exclusive, the Blu-ray DVD digital of Frozen and Frozen 2 for $39.99. Usually we see these two movie collections over at Walmart as an exclusive, not exactly over here at Target, so this is definitely new. So on top of the exclusive for the 4K with the filmmaker booklet and the gallery book and everything, they also have the two movie collection as well, if you guys want to pick that up too. So they definitely do have that also over here. They do have that. They also have the Blu-ray of Color Out of Space right here. I'm so happy to see this, guys, for $14.99. And I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I was really looking forward to checking this out. I remember watching the trailer and just feeling like, holy shit, man, this thing looks so bizarre and just crazy and whacked out and all sort of H.P. Lovecraft goodness, and I could not wait to check this thing out, man. Now, it's based off of a H.P. Lovecraft short story, and this movie does not disappoint, guys. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's basically about this family that there's this meteorite that sort of hits on their farm, and everything sort of goes haywire from there. You know, sort of weird occurrences, things sort of transforming around them being influenced by this weird color and the meteorite, and just all the monstrous effects that sort of happen with the family and everything around them. It's really just one sort of bizarre trip into madness. It really honestly is, man. And I loved every minute of it. I really honestly did. I thought Nicolas Cage was great here. In fact, there's actually a thing that Richard Stanley, who directs this, he ended up actually loving Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss, and he wanted him to have sort of the same type of performances in Vampire's Kiss. And trust me, Nicolas Cage does not disappoint here, man. He did an amazing job playing sane but yet crazy at the same time. He goes all out in this performance, great, as is everybody else. Jolie Richardson and all the other actors do an amazing job. I thought the effects were fantastic here, the makeup effects and everything. Sometimes it reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing. Some of the way the weird sort of entities looked and everything. It looked like they were all meshed together in this weird formation. Looked really fantastic. I thought the film looks beautiful with the color. It looks haunting yet gorgeous at the same time. I thought it was really phenomenal, guys, and I really love this movie quite a bit. I thought it was amazing. And I love this. As a horror movie lover, as somebody who loves a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stuff, this definitely did not disappoint, man. And I was also really looking forward to this movie because of Richard Stanley. And now, Richard Stanley, see, it's been a long time since he really directed something major, man. He directed Hardware, and Dust Devil, which are two really great sort of indie sort of sci-fi horror films, and he did a really great job with that, man. He really honestly did. I have hardware on a special edition Blu-ray, but I do not own Dust Devil. I really do want to own that. And years ago, it was supposed to come out on a special edition through Severin, and it never did. And I'm kind of hoping it does at some point. But he's such a unique and interesting filmmaker, and then he ended up trying to do that Island of Dr. Moreau with Val Kilmer, and I think he was on it for maybe a week, and they basically just shut him out of the production and fired him, and it was such a horrible experience for him. There's actually a documentary on the making of that movie and Richard Stanley's involvement, and it's very, very fascinating stuff, dude. He had a really terrible time with that movie. In fact, he had such a terrible time that basically he practically quit directing or being involved in anything creative. I mean, he technically he never really stopped being creative and doing stuff. He did a lot of obscure documentaries and other things like that, but for the most part, he was basically living in the mountains and keeping to himself, dude. He really was, man, and it's a shame because he's such a creative force, and I really wanted him to come back again and do something in a big bad way. And he was trying to get this movie made for the longest time, trying to get backers and donors, and it's a project that he's been trying to champion for a while. And just out of the blue, the producers and everything that made Mandy ended up actually giving him the finances to make this, and I am so happy they did, dude. Richard Stanley is an amazing director. He has a unique vision all his own, and movies like Color Out of Space or Hardware or Dust Devil, they're unique visions, and I'm glad to see him doing more as a director. I really am. I mean, as much as he had a terrible time on Island of Dr. Moreau and how it really sort of almost really just turned him off to the whole creative process, I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad he has a renewed interest in directing again. I can't wait to see what he does next, dude. Color Out of Space is amazing, and if you like Hardware, Dust Devil, all these H.P. Lovecraft stuff, definitely give Color Out of Space a look, man, because I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed. Weirdness, madness, B-movie craziness. I loved it all, man. Not bad at all, dude. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Knives Out for $19.99, the DVD for $14.99, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $24.99, and yet another exclusive, guys. We've got an only at Target Blu-ray DVD digital, and this includes the unpublished Harlan Thrombey novel from the movie. That's really cool, man. That's a nice, interesting exclusive. I was not expecting one for Knives Out here at Target, but that is a really nice exclusive, dude. Very cool, man. Not bad. It's the same sort of cover art as the other one, so it's nothing really different, but nice, dude. Very nice, man. Not bad at all, dude. Now, this movie is directed by Rian Johnson. Now, I'm not going to make any bones about it, dude. The Last Jedi sucks. Okay, The Last Jedi really bites the bullet in a big bad way, dude, and I'll definitely not get off that train anytime soon, trust me. But outside of that, I think Rian Johnson is a very underrated director, and I think a lot of people saw The Last Jedi, and I think they really hated him from that, and really just didn't want to look into him any further past that movie. But you really should, dude, because he's a really wonderful filmmaker. I remember seeing Brick for the first time years ago and was so blown away by that movie. I thought it was so ingenious and really creative. The underbelly of high school and sort of crime and everything. I thought that was a brilliant movie, dude. And then The Brothers Bloom, which is not a bad movie. I'm not a huge fan of Brothers Bloom, but there's some nice comedy there. Though I do have to admit, I really love Looper. And Looper was amazing. This dark sci-fi fantasy world, time travel. I thought it was great. I thought Bruce Willis was amazing in it. I thought it was really such a fantastic and phenomenal movie. And I thought he did a great job with that. Very dark and gritty sci-fi. A great time travel tale. I thought he did an amazing job with that movie, dude. I really did. He's a unique filmmaker that really does his own sort of style. In my way, he does some unique and interesting stuff, but I think when he does, See, honestly, when he does something like a huge budget franchise, like something like Star Wars, I think his vision sort of gets lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? You know, every producer and executives and everybody sort of nipping at your heels, wanting you to do this and do that. I feel he, sort of loses your steam as a director, and you sort of lose that creative vision that you had. I think movies like Knives Out and Brick and Looper, those are ones where he could tell his vision. It's a story that he intimately wants to tell, and everyone's on board with what he wants to do with it. There's no executives or anybody really telling him how to make his movie, and I think that's really what's important, man, is having that creative vision. Something the same with Richard Stanley for Color Out of Space, is these directors to sort of hold their hand with these huge Hollywood projects and have them lose that creative luster that they have. It sort of kills the movie. It really does, man. And honestly, seeing this movie and seeing him back on his game is really awesome, dude. So I'm really happy that he's back on his game in a big bad way. And I would implore you guys that if you hated on The Last Jedi, and look, I can't blame you because Last Jedi sucks donkey balls big time. It really does. I would implore you guys, though, to check out Looper, to check out Brick, and to give Knives Out a chance, because it really shows a filmmaker that when he really wants to tell a story all his own and unique, and doesn't have to pander to executives or a whole studio, then he can really shine. And this is one of those ones that really is that way, dude. Honestly, definitely give that one a chance, man. I wanted to say, they also still have a bunch of these Blu-ray, DVD, digital steelbooks from Midway that I'm noticing, and I'm really kind of shocked because this is such a really great steelbook, and I'm kind of shocked that it still is here, or a lot of copies are here, man. I thought it was a really cool steelbook, and I know people have been buying Midway like crazy, so I'm kind of shocked that they still have them, but there's still a decent amount in stock here, definitely for Midway. And one other thing I wanted to show off here that I found really cool is that they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Snatchers and the DVD as well. Now, they did not have this last week, so I'm actually really surprised that they have this, man. I mean, I loved the movie. I think it's a really cool, sort of unique, sort of new school take on a horror comedy that is really awesome, and it sort of is more for like the newer generation, but I think a lot of older generations would appreciate the horror comedy aspect of it. But I never would have thought I'd see it here at Target, man. I thought that's really cool to see that here, man. Definitely interesting and definitely unique. Interesting that they're carrying this. I would have never thought, again, this is not a family friendly thing, but very cool for Target to carry this, man. So if you haven't checked out Snatchers, definitely do it, man. And the same thing with Color Out of Space as well. Some unique stuff with that movie. Definitely not family friendly, but really unique and awesome. Same with Knives Out, Frozen 2. So much stuff, and a lot of stuff for everybody here. Horror, crime, drama, kid stuff. A lot of really great stuff this week, guys. Not bad at all. All right, let's head out. More exclusives, more displays, and I'm a very happy man indeed, guys. Not half bad here at Target, man. Not half bad at all, man. We got all the new releases. We've got some cool, unique exclusives. They even had Color Out of Space, and they even had Snatchers in as well, which they didn't have last week. So, are they getting in some unique and interesting titles that maybe we weren't expecting them to get from now on? I'm not gonna start praising them quite yet, but it's really cool that they have some of that stuff. And to think like Target here has Color Out of Space and Walmart didn't have it. How weird is that, man? Color Out of Space is not exactly family friendly, so to have it here, hey man, I'm glad they do have it. Hey man, it's always good when they have some interesting titles that maybe the other store didn't have, and this is definitely a highlight for sure, man. We only really had a few major releases this week, but definitely Target went out of their way to really do some really great stuff this week with exclusives and selection, and I'm very happy indeed. Target gets a thumbs up for me for sure, guys. I'm very happy with what they got here. I hope you are too. Let's head to the third and final location and see what we can find. All right, everybody. We are at our third and final location, the Beast, Best Buy. Before we go in, I wanted to talk about a movie trailer with you guys, and that is Run. Now, this trailer came out last week, and I really want to talk about it because I like a great revenge thriller. I really honestly do. To me, revenge thrillers really have that great sort of edge of your seat thrill ride. You can't wait to see the evil person, man or woman, get their comeuppance. And you're just sitting there like, oh, ooh, when is she gonna die? Come on, die. Like you just can't wait for it, man. You cannot wait. And I really like that a lot. And this movie looks like it definitely scratches that itch for sure. And from what I'm gathering from the trailer, it's basically about this woman played by Sarah Paulson who she must have, when her child was born, whether it was premature or not, having some troubles. And later on in the trailer, you realize, okay, her daughter grew up. There's a little bit of disabilities and issues there, but it looks like things are taking care of themselves quite well. And slowly in the trailer, you realize that the daughter is finding out that maybe the woman that's taking care of her all these years is not exactly on the up and up and may not even be her mother, man. Like, this chick might be absolutely fucking batshit crazy. And she's got to try to find out the truth. She's trying to get away from this woman. All the while, Sarah Paulson's character is trying to stop her from finding out the truth, trying to basically say, okay, this girl is crazy. She's out of her mind. She needs meds, and basically just stalking her. And you're just, and even I was like in the trailer being like, oh my God, man, just get away from this bitch. Like, she's crazy. She's nuts, And I really thought that the trailer did a great job of conveying how nuts this woman is and how you cannot wait to see whatever happens to this woman. She gets her comeuppance in a big bad way, and you just are on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen with this girl, how she's going to find out the truth. And it looks really cool, man. It really honestly does. On top of that, the movie actually reminds me of another movie from back in the day, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. It kind of reminds me of that movie, of just the idea of a woman that seems very nice and homely, and the fact that she's anything but, the fact that she's an absolutely crazy and nutty bitch that you need to get away from, and she will basically manipulate you and manipulate everything around you and ruin your goddamn life. Like when I was watching Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker years ago, I wanted that woman to just die. Just die already. And I kind of feel like I'm going to have the same type of reaction with this movie, and I cannot wait, man. It looks really cool. On top of that, man, I got to give a lot of props to Sarah Paulson, because to me, Sarah Paulson is really vastly underrated. I've really loved her on TV. I've loved her in the supporting role she's done in the movies. And I feel like she hasn't really gotten a lot of love from a lot of people. She's very undervalued, underappreciated. She always puts in really great performances no matter what she does. And I think it's finally time for her to really get huge starring roles. So seeing her top bill on this looks really cool, man. So hopefully there's more like this in the future of her getting huge starring roles, man, because she definitely deserves it in a big bad way for sure, man. Definitely let me know what you think of Run. It looks really cool, man. Definitely tense, on the edge of your seat. Cannot wait to check that out. In the meantime, let's head into Best Buy and see what the Beast has in store for us this week. All right, everybody, we are over here at Best Buy with this display for Frozen 2. Not bad right here. On this side, you've got Elsa, really with her magical powers right there. And then on the other side, you have her wonderful sister as well. Not a bad display, not too bad at all, guys. Definitely a lot of selection for sure. So let's get into it with the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Frozen 2 for $22.99. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $29.99. And, oh yes, another exclusive we've got for Frozen 2, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $34.99. The collectible steelbook right here, and look at that. That is a nice steelbook, man. I like that. That is really cool. I like sort of her going up the steps towards the horse. I like that. That's a really eye-popping steelbook, man. That is really amazing. That's pretty cool, dude. Like I said, I can't say I love every Best Buy exclusive steelbook, but this one really pops, man. Really good and very different from this artwork here. I definitely prefer this one by far, man. Definitely by far, dude. And you kind of see what it looks like on the inside there. Not bad. And also on the back side of the steelbook, this artwork right there as well. Very, very nice, man. Not bad at all. And it was kind of interesting because looking into this movie, I was struck by the fact that at times they kind of played it safe with this movie. And I can understand why to a certain degree, and the reason why I say that is because I was looking into this, and there was a whole controversy when the movie came out, or even before the movie came out, of like Elsa being gay, and there was a whole thing to do about that, and Disney sort of backed off on it, and they weren't really wanting to go there, and a lot of like LGBT activists and a lot of people really felt like, why didn't Disney go there? Why didn't they really just say, hey, Elsa's gay and that's okay, and try to give that message to kids? And there was kind of like a back and forth thing there. And to be fair, to be honest, guys, I mean, Disney plays it safe. I mean, they really do. And they're just a company that's too big to fail at this point. And it really is honestly the truth. I mean, back in the day, Disney could do certain projects and certain things and take some risks. And I don't think that they would be held accountable for that. I mean, if they failed, they failed. But, I mean, at least they tried something interesting. Here, if they fail, now everybody is nipping at their heels. And they kind of feel like they have to keep up a certain sort of image and a certain sort of quality. And taking risks now for Disney is not really something that they do anymore. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. They don't really go out of their way to do anything that's gonna upset their audience. It's pretty much what it is. I mean, I heard an article recently about that Disney Plus is doing a Love, Simon TV show. And I thought, okay, that's a really interesting thing. It could be really cool, a great message for young teens, and it could be really great. And then I now heard that Disney Plus is not going to have that show on its streaming service because it's too risky, it's not considered family friendly for them, and so they're going to move it to Hulu. And that kind of upsets me, man. It just upsets me in the idea that what is considered family friendly now and what's not considered family friendly? I mean, you're going to be putting a show like a Love, Simon TV show that has probably some really good sort of things to say about gay and lesbian communities and everything, and you're putting it on Hulu. And it just sort of tells me that they're not interested in really going for any sort of quote-unquote risky material, or they're not interested in trying to do something new and bring in a different base on their sort of Disney stuff. They have their base. They're happy with it. They don't really want to go out of their comfort zone. And as much as I really love Frozen, it is one of those sort of animated ones that is very by the book. There's a bad guy, the good guy characters, falter at one point, they overcome it, happily ever after. That's what these movies are. And I'm not saying that's a bad formula. I'm just saying that's what Disney does now. And that's what they've been doing for years, and they're not going to change it at this point, guys. They're just going to be that way because they're just a company that at this point, they're just so big of an entity, and they've swallowed up so much other companies and properties that they can't fail at this point. They literally have to make everything get as wide of an audience as possible and make as much money, or it's considered a failure. And that really sucks, because back in the day, that wasn't the case with Disney, man, and now it is. And it just kind of sucks that we're at that point now. It really honestly does. I mean, I love things like Frozen and Frozen 2. I think they're great animated movies. They're great animated tales. The music is infectious here. The animation is gorgeous. The storytelling is really good, but if we do get a Frozen 3, and I really do think we will, because this series is like really like hugely popular still. I mean, there's so much merchandise out there that they're not going to do the Elsa is gay thing. They're not really going to go out there and really take that risk. I mean, I know a lot of people really want it, but I just don't feel they're going to do it, guys. I think we are going to get a Frozen 3, but I think it's going to be very formula. I think it'd probably be just as good as Frozen 1 and 2, but don't go expecting that they're going to take risks, because that's just not going to happen, guys. I still like Disney as a company, but I can't say that, you know, I'm surprised by them being cookie cutter, because that's just what Disney is now, and that's what you definitely got to expect, man. But honestly, though, regardless of that, Frozen and Frozen 2 are great, regardless of it being formulaic or not. It's well worth checking out, guys, especially if you love the first Frozen, and that was definitely a phenomenal movie by far, man. You get here outtakes, deleted scenes, deleted songs, did you know, music videos, and more. And also, I believe, oh yeah, there's including a sing-along version of the movie as well. So there is definitely that too, man. And this is like the only steelbook that I see, because that's it. There's no more steelbooks, dude. So this might be the only steelbook that they have here at the Best Buy, and I'm kind of glad that I got to show it off, because I have a feeling this steelbook is going to be really popular, dude. If you guys love Frozen and definitely want to get up on this steelbook, run to your Best Buys, because this steelbook ain't gonna last very long. I can guarantee you that one, man. Really, really beautiful steelbook, but it certainly won't last, man. Not bad, guys. All right, pretty good over here, man. Definitely a lot of great selection and variety, and a cool steelbook. All right, let's see what else Best Buy's got. All right, guys, we're over in this section with the new releases, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Knives Out for $19.99, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $24.99, and I'm kind of glancing over here. They don't have any. They're all out, but apparently there was a Knives Out steelbook that came out. I didn't even realize there was going to be one out this time around over here at Best Buy. That's kind of crazy. I just didn't think that there would be this many exclusives coming out for Knives Out for some reason. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, it kind of sucks that they're all out, man. I have a feeling that this one is going to be selling out really fast. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have found any in your area, but definitely let me know about that one for sure, man. And, you know, one of the things I really like about this movie is the whole sort of detective angle, the whole idea of, you know, figuring out a murder mystery. That's some of my favorite things that I really...
It's a great movie.
Is it? Well, he says it's a great movie. Great movie. He says it's a great movie. Absolutely, brother. He says it's great. Well, okay, see? Well, somebody also endorses it, man. So now here's the deal about it. I really love the murder mystery aspect of the movie. I really do, man. And most people really love the movie quite a bit, just like that guy just did walking past, man. That's never happened before. So, but one of the things that I really just dig about it is that, just sort of diving into the mystery of who could be the killer and who has the motives and who doesn't. I really love that stuff quite a bit, man. I really honestly do. And it's something that I sort of grew up with for years, man. You know, I've always read those sort of choose your own adventure books, which was really fun, but even so, those sort of detective stories from back in the day, things like the movie Sleuth from 1972, that's a really great one. Even recent ones, stuff like Murder on the Orient Express, which is really great. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey, man, that's a really great movie. And that's a really great one that sort of subverts your expectations. And I would also say another one that is, and I can't forget to name it, is Clue. I think Clue is so great. Yes, it's more in the comedy angle, but it has a really great sort of murder mystery, and you're sort of on the edge of your seat. And I love the sort of end of Clue where they go out and do all these alternate scenarios. I think it's so great, man. I've always loved these murder mystery aspects to it. I mean, this movie also has maybe hints at, you know, like old school Italian giallos from the past as well. And there's another movie that I wanted to sort of reference as well that sort of reminds me of this movie, and that is a movie called Greedy with Michael J. Fox and Kirk Douglas. And it's not a murder mystery. What it is sort of a comedy about this guy older guy played by Kirk Douglas, who has all of this money, and his sort of family is trying to have him in the will, sort of inherit it, and that he's dying, and they're trying to sort of manipulate him to give them their money. And so they bring in Michael J. Fox in order to convince him to hand over the money. And it's just the idea of all these greedy people and, you know, all the weird personalities and everything. And this movie kind of reminded me of that, of sort of the greediness of these people and sort of the manipulation that they have with one another and trying to get all the money from their father/grandfather's estate. It's got a really great mixture of comedy, murder, mystery, intrigue, wacky antics as well. It's very unique and very interesting. And as I said, movies like this rarely get made anymore. They really don't. I mean, like I said, I really love things like Murder on the Orient Express, and that and something like Knives Out don't really come out all that often, man. They really don't. Now, I did hear that this movie is going to get a sequel, which I'm actually kind of interested in. It's not going to have the same sort of family dynamic, obviously. It's going to be Daniel Craig's character, Blanc, who is going to solve a new murder mystery or something, which is actually really cool. I can't wait for a sequel for that because I think his character is great. I'd love to see him solve another murder mystery, kind of like they're doing a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express with Kenneth Branagh's character, him sort of following another murder and unraveling that. I think that would be really cool, dude. I would love to see a series of these movies with sort of Daniel Craig going and sort of solving these mysteries and unraveling them and finding the killers. That would be really cool, dude. As long as Rian Johnson comes back, as long as Daniel Craig is enthusiastic about it, why not, man? I'm 100% down for that one. Definitely let me know what you think of that. And apparently everybody is definitely singing high praises about this one. That guy definitely did, for sure, man. And you get a lot of special features here. You get an audio commentary, you get an in-theater commentary, you get a bunch of making of, market galleries, viral ads, a bunch of really great special features here. So they definitely loaded this thing in a big bad way, dude. So if you definitely love this movie, definitely pick it up, because it's probably well worth it. Not only is it a great movie, but a lot of really great special features, man. Not bad at all, dude. Then over here I'm seeing they have some new 4Ks of the Daniel Craig movies here at Best Buy. They have Casino Royale for $19.99. They have Skyfall for $19.99 as well. Quantum of Solace and Spectre. And they're all 4K Blu-ray digitals. They're all $19.99. And they just have sort of different cover to them, sort of like Daniel Craig right in the spotlight there, sort of 4K editions with just a new slipcover and everything. Right in time for No Time to Die, man. Nice. Sort of getting people re-hyped for Daniel Craig as Bond, dude. I honestly, not gonna lie, I really love Daniel Craig as Bond. He honestly is one of my top favorite Bonds of all time. I think him and sort of Sean Connery's kind of switch places from time to time. You know, with sort of Pierce Brosnan sort of running in around like third. I really do. Now, has all of his movies been very great or successful? I don't know. I mean, I really love Skyfall. I really love Casino Royale. I think they're really amazing movies, and I really think they're very fantastic, very action-packed, very Bond-esque, very gritty action movies. But the two that people really don't like are Quantum of Solace and Spectre. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I actually really do like Quantum of Solace. It doesn't reach the heights that Casino Royale did, and that's fair enough, dude. But I really like the story. I like Olga Kurylenko as the Bond girl. I like sort of they're continuing the story from Casino Royale and this evil corporation. I like that. I like that quite a bit, man. And I think Daniel Craig is still great as Bond here. It feels sort of rushed at times, but I thought it was really effective, man. I thought it was, man. And as far as Spectre is concerned, I will admit, like, Spectre is my least favorite of all of the Daniel Craig Bond movies. It is definitely my least favorite of all of them. I think the main reason why is that for me, Daniel Craig felt like he wasn't really interested in this movie. It felt like he was sort of just going through the motions and not really caring. The action is good, but it had sort of a lacking villain in it, and it felt like they were trying to tie together the mysteries of Casino Royale and Skyfall and Quantum all into one movie, and it didn't quite work, dude. I mean, and then sort of Daniel Craig going off into a happy ending, which now obviously is not exactly a happy ending, but I just kind of felt like it was sort of the weakest of all the Bond films, and I haven't even picked it up on physical media yet. I mean, I definitely have to pick it up at some point. I mean, I own Quantum, I own Skyfall, and I definitely own Casino, but I do not own Spectre, man. I've just been very hesitant to pick this title up because I want to kind of see how No Time to Die is before I pick up Spectre. Because if No Time to Die is a really great movie and definitely sort of ends the Craig era on a high note, then I'll look at Spectre and say, well, it was a bumpy road. It had like a gravel pit of like Spectre on it, but I can get through that knowing that No Time to Die is really good. If No Time to Die is bad, then I'll sort of look at Spectre of like, okay, this was the beginning of a really bad ending for Bond, and it didn't get any better. So I'm kind of hesitant right now. I'm definitely looking forward to No Time to Die. I want Daniel Craig to go out on top. I've loved his Bond. I've loved the grittiness and the dark nature that he's done as the character. I want him to go out on top. But for me, Spectre was sort of like kind of a miss more than anything else. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think of Quantum, Spectre, Skyfall, and Casino, where you guys would rank them, and are you looking forward to No Time to Die? Definitely let me know. In the meantime here, you do get some special features here. Wing sequence, blogs, gallery, you do get that for Spectre, you get for Quantum. Probably a bunch of these are really the same special features as it was before, nothing really new here. They do have all those. For Skyfall, they have all these special features as well. Do have that. And for Casino, pretty much all of those ones as well. Some good special features, but definitely more reissues to sort of get you into that Bond mood for sure, guys. So if you're not into these Bond films yet, haven't picked them up, definitely do it. Alright, not bad over here so far. Let's see what else they got. Alright everybody, we are over in this section of Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing is they do have the DVD only of Frozen 2 for $19.99 for all you DVD lovers out there. So Best Buy is carrying the DVD of Frozen 2 here as well, so they do have that. I'm also seeing over here they do have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray of Color Out of Space for $17.99. I'm really happy we got to see the 4K here because I knew there was a 4K edition out of this, but I'm glad we actually got to see it in the stores here. Now, this is based off of H.P. Lovecraft and his works. Now, H.P. Lovecraft has had a lot of movies that have been based on his works in one way or another. And a lot of them actually aren't half bad, man. I mean, you have Reanimator, which, by the way, Reanimator is fucking fantastic. I love Reanimator so goddamn much. It's really great. From Beyond, which I really do dig From Beyond quite a bit. It's kind of interesting because From Beyond, actually, the first, 5 or 10 minutes of the movie is actually the short story of the H.P. Lovecraft one. And then they dive into new stuff from there, but they kind of took that as a springboard and then made, a wider movie from that. But that's a really great one, both directed by Stuart Gordon, which is vastly underrated director. Also, you have Dagon, and I've watched Dagon a couple times, and Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Dagon. I think it's interesting. I like the idea of these sort of fish people, but I don't know if it was executed in the best way, though. I definitely would like to see a remake of Dagon at some point. I think it has some interesting sort of horror vibes to it, fantasy elements. It's not terrible by any means. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. You also have something like Necronomicon, which is really great. I do really love Necronomicon quite a bit. I think you guys would definitely check out that one for some weird shit. You have the Unnameable, and a few other ones that have come out. I'll also recommend one which is really weird and B-movie and all kinds of ridiculousness, but I really enjoy it, and it's called Call Girl of Cthulhu. It basically takes sort of the H.P. Lovecraft sort of Cthulhu story and sort of spins it in this way of this sort of call girl hooker who is sort of destined to sort of be with Cthulhu and sort of mate with Cthulhu, and sort of the comedy that kind of spins from there is really weird and it's very odd, but I ended up seeing it at a horror convention years ago. I met the director, and at the time his fiancée, now his wife, and both of them are really nice people. It's a really cool and interesting sort of horror movie. It's not big budget. It's more of lower budget. They didn't have the budget like something like Color Out of Space, or even something like Reanimator or From Beyond, which was low budget in itself. But it's actually really fun. It's fun, it's B-movie, it's got some cool monster effects in it. I actually really like it, man. So I'm recommending Call Girl of Cthulhu to you guys to definitely check that one out for sure, man. It's really fun. I own it on Blu-ray, so I'm a little bit partial to it, but I really did like that one quite a bit, man. But there is some really good ones out there. And Color Out of Space is another one that's really, really great as well. And it definitely lives up to the H.P. Lovecraft name, with the monsters and sort of the subtext of society gone mad, and I really like that quite a bit, dude. Now, I know a lot of the sort of H.P. Lovecraft stories is in public domain, so a lot of them you can actually do, and you don't really have to worry about copyright issues or anything. And I know that basically that's why Richard Stanley really likes these, because again, you don't have to really go out of your way to ask anybody for the rights, because they're basically, out there in the public. Anybody can do it. And I did hear that he wants to make a trilogy out of these H.P. Lovecraft stories, the first being Color Out of Space, and then the next one as well. I think he said something about it being the Dunwich Horror or something. I heard something about that, it being the Dunwich Horror, which would be very interesting and intriguing. I definitely would be down for that. I think Richard Stanley proved himself with this movie, making a very bizarre and sort of very haunting H.P. Lovecraft tale with really great effects in it. I think he proved himself in a big bad way. So I know this movie has been successful for him already. I know they're definitely going to be doing that second film in his sort of H.P. Lovecraft trilogy. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one quite a bit, man. So for me, consider me hyped for the next one, dude. If it's as crazy as this one is, then I'm on board in a big bad way. Honestly, I am. And definitely check out more H.P. Lovecraft. He's a very unique guy from back in the day that had a very unique vision that now filmmakers are really taking and spinning into some really unique movies, man. Definitely let me know what some of your favorite H.P. Lovecraft movies are, or some that I didn't even name. Definitely let me know about that one, guys. You do get here the making of Color Out of Space, deleted scenes, and photo gallery. You do get that as well. Honestly, this is a really great H.P. Lovecraft tale. Definitely worth checking out, guys. And this movie is going to look phenomenal in 4K. Just with the colors and the brightness of it, it's going to look absolutely stunning, dude. So definitely, whether it's the Blu-ray or the 4K, the picture quality is going to be fantastic, man. Definitely check this one out, dude. Really good, man. Definitely worth your time, especially if you're a horror movie lover. Quite bizarre and unique and interesting. And sometimes those are the best horror movies, honestly. Not bad here, guys. Not bad here at all, man. Some interesting releases, some exclusives, some interesting variety. Not bad. All right. Let's head out. it's a decent release week here at Best Buy. It's not like the huge, big bonanza release week with a ton of physical media. It's not that this week, guys, but there's still a lot to see here, man. I mean, we got that Frozen 2 display, which, by the way, everybody's getting on the Frozen 2 love. I mean, it's pretty much like bonanza Frozen 2, like everywhere, man. They have that. We also saw the exclusive for Frozen 2 as well, which, by the way, that is going to go really fast, man. I have a feeling that that's going to be one of those steelbooks that's going to go lightning fast for sure, man. We got that. We also got all of the new releases. We also got those new Bond releases as well, sort of getting closer to No Time to Die, so they're definitely putting out more stuff for Bond for you guys to get up on your Bond fix, so they definitely have that as well. It just really sucks I did not get to see that Knives Out steelbook, man. I definitely wanted to see that, man, so that's kind of a bummer, man. I definitely wanted to check that out, but you know, that's definitely one that I have a feeling is probably also going to go really fast as well. And it's kind of weird because stores are doing almost as many exclusives for Knives Out as they are for Frozen 2. Like, I would have never expected that, guys, but hey, you never know until you're doing the out and abouts, guys, that's for sure, man. But that being said, man, still a decent release week. Definitely a lot of really great variety out there. Definitely a lot of really great exclusives. A lot of stuff for movie lovers. So definitely get up on those things and definitely pick something good, guys, for sure. Well, that seems to do it for Best Buy. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And on one hand, it was a big release week because you had three main titles really hitting store shelves and really being out there in people's eyeballs. I mean, you had one movie that was very much for the contemporary adult out there. You had one which was definitely for kids, and you had one which was definitely for horror lovers and, you know, sort of scratching that you know, sci-fi horrific itch that people have. I mean, so there was something really almost for everybody out there pretty much, man. Now, at the same time, it was definitely on the lower end of the release week because, of course, we didn't have a lot of indie titles to show off and a lot of other things that, you know, usually come with a week. You know, mind you, there was indie titles that did come out, but I actually ended up going to that second Walmart that I usually go to just to see whether they might have had any indie titles just on the off chance, and they actually didn't. So even though there was indie stuff that came out this week, none of the stores was really carrying it, at least none near my area. And at the same time, I also went to the second Best Buy in my area to try to see if I could find that Knives Out steelbook. And no, I could not find that. They were all sold out. And on top of that, that second Best Buy was all sold out of the Frozen 2 steelbook. And as I said, there was only one copy left at the Best Buy that I went to in the video. So both of those steelbooks, by the way, are flying off of the shelves. I'm very lucky that I at least got to show out the Frozen 2 one because I have a feeling like once they're gone, they're gone. And you know, God willing, we may see them again, possibly, but that's a long stretch, man. Those are steelbooks that are going to be highly sought after on eBay, dude. I can just honestly just tell right off the bat, man, how fast they're going. Yeah, they're going to go really, really big time on eBay, man. So keep a lookout on that one. I don't envy any of you steelbook fans, man. The stuff you got to go through to get this stuff, especially on eBay, insane, man. I'm a steelbook lover at times, but sometimes dealing with these scalpers and the eBay stuff, dude, sometimes it could really turn you off to steelbooks in a big bad way. So, yeah, I really feel for you guys, man. But, you know, on one hand, there was a lot to show off with these three releases. At the same time, not a huge amount outside of that. But I still thought, regardless, man, we got some really interesting exclusives, some really great artwork, displays up the wazoo for Frozen. I mean, come on, man. Everybody is pretty much getting on the Frozen train here. So, yeah, I think overall it was a really good, solid week, man. So, by all means, I mean, there was definitely some interesting releases that came out this week. Definitely let me know what you guys picked up. Stuff from previous weeks, this week's releases, definitely let me know what you guys got for sure. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got a release over at Walmart right here, guys. Now, this is actually one of the newer releases, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is a title that I everybody is loving this movie, and I thought to myself, I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance, and I fell in love with it, and it reminds me of so many movies from the past that I've loved and cherished, and you know, it's a really great movie, and I had to pick it up. I have to put it in the collection, man. So I did get this. I also ended up getting a new release from Target as well. And this is another movie that was high on my radar that I definitely wanted to check out. It's icky and it's gross and it's horrific, and I loved every goddamn ridiculous minute of it, and I thought it was really fantastic. So this definitely has to be in the collection, man. So I got two titles at the stores, guys. I definitely was supporting the stores in a big bad way, and that's all that I got, man. That's it. But two really great titles that I got, guys. On top of all the other titles that I have picked up for the month of February. February has been really good to me. Honestly, it really has. I don't know if I ever realized how good February was gonna be this time around, but it really was very plentiful, man. Collector's editions, limited editions, retro titles, new releases, some really unique stuff that came out over the course of February, man. Definitely worth getting. So I'm gonna have a really great haul to show off, guys. So definitely stay tuned to that video when it drops. Hopefully next month it'll show off all the releases that I got for the month of February. It will be a good one, guys. And on top of that, yes, the December pickups will be up this weekend. I was actually going to put them up last weekend, but what ended up happening was the Dollar Tree movie hunting video ended up definitely taking a little bit more precedence and ended up being much more of a top priority. So that got pushed to the side to the Dollar Tree hunting video. That's not a bad thing. I'm okay with it because the Dollar Tree hunt was really cool. And if you guys have not checked out that video, definitely do it yet. Almost 2.5 hours of physical media goodness where I go and check out all of the dollar deals that the Dollar Tree stores have. So that was really cool. So trust me, guys, it was put on the back burner, but the December pickups will be up on the channel this weekend. I'm going to hopefully try in March to get up the January pickup video and hopefully the February one as well and get it to you guys as well. I've been kind of sort of backlogged with a lot of things, a ton of stuff on my plate, but I'm doing my best, guys, so I thank you all for your patience, and patience will pay off in a big bad way. There's a lot of great stuff and a lot of great titles that I want to talk about, so definitely stay tuned to those pickup videos. They will be well worth it, guys, I promise. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos I do, the movie hunting videos, the theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends, movie topic videos, and much more that I do. If you're a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank you guys so much for your honest and loyal support, watching the videos, commenting, subscribing. I mean, honestly, you know, this is a pleasure to do YouTube, and it's a passion with these movies, and I never thought in a million years that anybody out there would share the same kind of love and passion that I do, and I found all of you, which are absolutely amazing, and I thank my lucky stars to have each and every one of you as a subscriber. You give your passion to me, and hopefully I do the same thing right back, guys. I really hope I do in a big bad way. And before I go, I just wanted to talk about an article that I ended up seeing recently, which is a really interesting article, man. I really like this article quite a bit. And it's basically in defense of the disc, DVD, Blu-ray disc collectors speak out. And, I always talk to you guys about last year how there was a whole lot of, doom and gloom about physical media. It's dying, it's dead, it's right on its corpse, it's over. And this is a really great article, really talking to a whole bunch of collectors about why they keep on collecting movies. Why do they go out of their way when there's streaming services and there's everything at their fingertips to still buy physical media discs? And I thought it was a really fantastic article. I really honestly did, man. And some of these people state some really interesting things. Basically, this one guy says, I'm a physical media diehard. My mantra is physical media or death. That's not a bad mantra to live by, guys. People say nothing compares with a tactile object. Higher AV quality, not dependent on the currently available bandwidth in your area, which is actually a really great point to make about physical media discs. You don't need to worry about the bandwidth or whether your internet's going to take a shit. That's also a really good point. They talk about the extras. Some films are really worth studying, from the way they were once advertised with their old trailers to interviews with people from both sides of the camera, not to mention deleted scenes, which are sometimes a revealing way to tell a story and sometimes really shapes what would have been an interesting part of the movie that wasn't, and sometimes you don't get that on streaming. They also say permanency. We all know disc decay, but if a disc lasts 30 years, that's better than something which disappeared from Netflix after 3 years because it's not popular enough or they've lost the rights. Physical media will help us claw our way out of the memory hole which streaming is inflicting upon classic cinema. That's a really great way to put all that. And it's also really interesting talking about, they talked about a lot of stuff in this article, man. Talking about how a lot of people's movies that they're interested in just aren't on these streaming services. And how basically they never will be. And how having the physical media disc really is something, honestly, that's going to keep the film alive in their minds. And also the idea that with streaming services, we're getting to the point now where streaming services basically are adding things at the drop of a hat. They're basically taking things down at a drop of a hat as well. And it really becomes the point of, in this day and age of streaming, things can easily get lost. Movies can easily get lost. We've talked about how, there's been so many great movies on VHS that haven't made the transition to DVD. Movies from DVD that still haven't made the transition to Blu-ray. Blu-ray movies haven't made the transition to 4K yet. But that's physical media. You can buy those physical media things and you can cherish them and you can have them and you can own them. On streaming, a lot of stuff that's on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K haven't even come to the streaming services yet. I mean, there's so many streaming services out there that a lot of these streaming services haven't even supported nearly half of the physical media and the movies that are out there, man. So that's why I always say support physical media and go out of your way to really support these companies and these studios that are still going out of their way to make physical media really important, because that's really what's going to keep these movies alive. Movies that a lot of people may have forgotten, but you and I have not forgotten about them. And we will keep them alive on our shelves, man. And that's why people like me really do cherish the format greatly. And I'm so happy to see articles like this being written that really support the format and support the fact of owning these physical media discs. I don't care whether I have 5 DVDs or 1,000 or 8,000, doesn't matter. Physical media to me stays alive in my heart and mind, and having these titles at my disposal without having to depend on a streaming service or having to depend on some sort of bandwidth on my internet that's going to take a crap at any moment, I love that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a huge physical media lover. People can write about how Blu-ray sucks or DVD sucks or 4K sucks, but I think we can all agree that physical media really needs to stay around, and it's very important. And articles like this really stress it, and I really wanted to give a big thank you to that article in a big bad way. It's definitely well worth it. Definitely check out the article, guys, because it's really fantastic. And as you know, I'm always a supporting physical media. I love physical media so much, as you guys know, as you know as well, because you're physical media lovers as well. You wouldn't be watching the channel if you're not, guys. So it's just really great and really humbling to see people really still supporting it in a big bad way. And I wholeheartedly agree with that article 110%, man. I really do. It's good to see physical media alive and well, guys. And I will definitely keep it alive also, guys. Well, again, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright, guys, I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.